All right, finally got the camper out after quite a long delay on working on it. A lot of things going on in this camper. Probably a couple things you've noticed. One is the braided section down here. You're probably wondering a little bit what that is if you haven't already noticed, and I'm going to show you. So there's two things that this thing can do. Actually, three. Let's go ahead and do those.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to my channel on building out a DIY expedition camper. This is Casey here, and it's definitely been a very long road building this out. There have been a busy other things going on in my life, but there's a lot of progress that's been happening, and hence why I'm a bit late or long overdue on giving you some updates and videos. Let's get into this one and my electric slide out entry deck and stairs. It's quite exciting, so here we go.
One is, it slides out.
And it slides out with the electrically lowering stairs that also protract forward. And this way it provides for a very narrow, compact space to enter and exit the camper, such as when parked next to other cars.
So this is my slide out deck, entry deck as I call it, because it electrically slides out, so I can actually slide it out from inside the camper. If I need to hurry up and get going, I can slide it back in. Or from the cab, I can slide it in. I can also have it so it's activated automatically to slide back in when the cab opens. The cab starts up. And also, I can use this as my entry deck to get into the camper itself. This thing is very durable, very strong. It's very thin. This distance between here and here is very critical in order to maximize the storage boxes that are needed, and also make sure the camper can actually articulate as it needs to with the frame and the twisting of that. Also, you notice there's this big extension on here. We'll show you that right here.
And this allows, when there's space, to go ahead and make a much bigger deck, so one that can accommodate several people standing up there, also putting out some chairs and just relaxing. And that way, if it's muddy, snowy, the ground wet, covered in insects, whatever, you can have a nice, comfortable deck to sit out on.
And voila. Again, that ledge foot goes up. You can tell it's quite strong. So I can show you when I go up on here, but this also been painted the same color with the bedliner paint onto here. It's also really grippy. I intentionally added a little bit extra grip to it, unlike here where I made it smoother on the walls. And this is also very strong, although quite light. And this also now allows me access to my 3 storage boxes that are down here. These storage boxes, of course, also become effectively part of the structure of the deck here. And it was also, this is one of the most challenging parts, is doing that. Go ahead and make these part of it, make sure I retained lots of good storage down here, but also had room for the actuators that are down here, the slides that all can be taken out. So you can see down here, 3 storage boxes, the space in between for the 3 actuators that basically keep that deck supported and keep it supported all the way along. The one in the rear, the storage box in the rear here, this one is fixed. It becomes part of the structure as well for the deck and supporting it up. And you can see the stairs down here, and also I'm going to show you the stairs as well. So let's go look at those. Here's how the stairs go down, and voila, go on up, and this becomes not only a place to sit and chill out, but of course also be able to access into the camper here. And of course I have my electric door lock for that as well, and this can hold hopefully 4 people. If not more. We'll test that out some here soon. But this all, of course, can be actuated by my phone, as I'm doing right now, also by switches inside the camper. And that way, as I drive away, all this stuff can be put away. If I need to close it all up, for whatever reason, I can close it up or open it up from inside. You imagine, like, when you're inside the camper at night, you have everything all kind of closed up, and then all of a sudden you want to exit the camper. What do? Do you jump out the 4.5 feet to the ground? Really about 4 feet, but do you jump that 4 feet out to the ground, or do you just hit the button and go ahead and walk on out? When you go away for the night, do you leave all this out, right? Maybe you don't want to leave it all out. Maybe it's stormy, there's weather, maybe there's cars that can park up and run into it, maybe there's people that can run into it. Maybe you just simply want to put it away for security or whatever else, right? Don't have to sweep off snow or mud or something in the morning. So just go ahead and close it all up at night. And not only can I close it all up at night or in the morning, put it all out, whichever it is, but all these things actually can even, the way they're designed, that I can go ahead and retract the deck in at the same time, of course, that it is swung back in, right? I have my swing out and I have my slide in. And so these two things can actuate effectively separately of each other. And so that allows me just to kind of speed up that movement or just be able to actuate either one separately. I'll show you that here in a moment.
This allows me to control the functionality depending on your need.
For example, while the deck is sliding in right now, we'll go ahead and let it slide in while actuating the deck out, swinging it up.
And this does not need any additional legs or support mechanism. So whether I'm parked on a beach or on the snow, this deck can still be supported by the actuators themselves.
Voila. Right, now it's swung up. Let me show you a little more of these devices before I go ahead and put it away here. So the boxes themselves become part of the structure. The three actuators that hold the deck up, they go ahead and mount into pivot points on the side of the boxes and get bolted in through those with eccentric bearings on each end to basically allow it to make sure I have exact positioning of those, along with the position points on these bearing connections on the 80-20 frame here. And then also that whole 80-20 frame, which is very strong, is bolted all the way through into the chassis rails, factory holes in the chassis rails. So alignment of those, getting everything positioned just right, was really key. And now those 80-20 frames come all the way down, which those are pretty substantial, even though they're 1 inch, because I was limited on space where I could put these. They're 3 inches wide, so as wide as I can get them in the 80-20s for that 1 inch profile. And then those go all the way down to the skid plate. The skid plate becomes a mounting point for the slide out actuators. Difficult to find spots to mount those with the exhaust system, catalytic converters, the transfer case, you know, the drive shaft, all that stuff. So give me a spot to mount those. And also now that strengthens up the skid plate because those become also supports for the skid plate as well as, of course, for this structure. And then those forces also get transferred across the skid plate and up to the base of the supports or the chassis rails on the other side. They'll support the box over there. And then all the boxes together also become effectively a skid plate on the bottom, even though those are about 18 inches off the ground. They should never touch the ground, hopefully not. Certainly adequate space. So let's go ahead and put this away and put the deck down, and you can see how that works. Pretty swift, pretty easy, pretty strong. Each one of these actuators, I believe, is rated at 450 pounds of static and dynamic loads. So a lot of strength in there, especially when there's 3 of those to hold the swing up deck. The 2 that slide it out don't really have much force on because they're simply just pushing it out, and that's it. Holding it out or holding it in, most importantly, because they do hold it in while driving, hold those storage boxes in, everything else in this whole structure. And this I'll try to get as flush as I could to the side of the camper, but it does butt out by about 1 inch. But that was still kind of a compromise over making everything work and getting the most space possible. It's a very limited space between really the outside of the camper here to the chassis rails, being that this camper is only 82 inches wide on the exterior. So that is, and the cab itself is 80 inches wide. So I have very narrow profile. Basically, it's the same profile as really just about almost any Land Cruiser, Land Rover, or even a full-size pickup truck before you get extended flares or something like 41-inch tires on it, which then would extend to about 90 inches. So this is still very narrow for narrow trails and still very short wheelbase of 134 inches. So you can see I've got my stairs mounted in, slides, double slides actually in the front of the stairs here. Also then slides on each side of each of these boxes that are bolted into these boxes. The actuators then bolt in between the boxes and have a pivot point there, along with a pivot point up here on the deck. Just a deck of 80-20. And then my way to really make this strong and light was also do some 1/2 inch aluminum decking here. Allowed me to give tracks on the bottom side to lock this in. And that is effectively how this whole thing works. It's an 80-20 frame that does tie into the skid plate. And the reason why it ties into the skid plate here, ties into the chassis rails all the way along this with 45-degree braces all the way through, but also ties to the skid plate because then a skid plate becomes basically a big moment frame that also allows forces to be basically go into that skid plate and then be transferred to the other side, and the chassis rails on the other side. That skid plate does also give me a position to mount a couple of the actuators that do slide the deck out. I needed space for those, and it was really difficult to find space with the exhaust system and the transmission and the drive shaft and the transfer case and everything's all in here. So that gave me some spot to go ahead and mount those. And also makes it really strong, and all that together also strengthens up the skid plate. So effectively they all become just one big unit. Now this is already pretty high off the ground. We're talking about, I forget the exact, but I think about 18 inches or so off the ground here. Very significant ground clearance. So that should give me really good clearance to get over stuff. And
So that's a good summary of this slide out entry deck with also the electrically lowering stairs. Now, there's a lot more details to go into this, and I'll go into that in a little more of a next video. For example, just figuring out how to place or where to place these actuators was a really big challenge. And also that has played out too for some of these other things that I've done, but not so hard for these electric slide out solar panel awnings that slide out from both sides. And this provides shade down the side as well as also protection on the windows from inclement weather, and also provides for a much bigger roof deck. Otherwise, it's just a simple little, small walkway down the middle. But by enabling these to slide out, it really provides for the entire roof deck to be utilized as a deck. And so I'll go over that in a future video, as well as also my spare tire carrier mount and how I lowered the spare tire carrier, as well as the door that is a storage door that also electrically opens up and closes to house or basically protect the spare tire carrier, as well as some additional fuel canisters, a shovel, and some max tracks and things like that as well. So look forward to sharing more with you and all that in these future videos. Thanks so much for watching, subscribing. Certainly reach out if you have any questions, and got a lot more coming up, including some of these other videos to share with you very soon. So look forward to sharing more and hopefully giving you some ideas on how you can proceed with your expedition camper.